Hello everyone, welcome to monthly meeting of Belfast Council. Where are we? Please be aware that the RMB Council meetings are live streamed to facebook.com/Belfast. Comments are not monitored in real time during the council meeting. Visitors, please reminder to sign in. In the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge that the land upon which our organization stands is unceded Mi'kmaq territory. Etokwik, Mi'kmaqi is covered by the historic treaties of peace and friendship. We pay our respects to the indigenous Mi'kmaq people who have occupied this land for over 12,000 years, past, present, and future. Do any members of council have a conflict of interest with any items on today's agenda? Okay, may I have is there any other suggested agenda items to be placed on tonight's agenda? Yes, Jim?
I want to have a kind of an update on the building permit application system that we asked for, and a brief discussion on the purpose of why we asked for that.
So that one log.
Oh, yes?
Well, actually, both sublease update.
Yes?
I guess you can title mine communications policy.
Speak that again?
Communications policy.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, may I have a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda as presented and adopted? Moved by Trish, second by Lynn. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. RCMP report for the month of March. Admin Ashley.
All right, so Sergeant Robinson could not make it tonight. However, he did send along the monthly report, which is showing that we are pretty much the same as last month in terms of calls to our area. So no major changes there. So keep up the good work, Belfast, and I'm hoping that Sergeant Robinson's going to show up at our next meeting. He says that he's going to try.
Guest speaker, Mr. Jeff Joyce, Northumberland Ferries Limited is not here.
No, the change of date was not able to free up this agenda to be able to get here.
You want to speak on this at all, or? Trish?
No.
Okay, another guest speaker is Mr. Keir White, Belfast Community Development Corporation. Welcome, Keir.
Thanks, Garrett. Just sit here in the hot seat. Thank you for having me. Sorry I couldn't attend the last month's meeting, but the Development Corporation appreciates your guys' support very much so, and we're definitely looking forward to working together with many community groups moving forward. That is my personal goal and the board's goal, to move forward working with the entire community as part of the golf course campground Empanette Park. The golf course is open. To give you guys an update, we opened as of Friday. We had great weather Friday and Saturday, and lots of support from across the island, which is great to see. We have a new golf course superintendent that's been hired, and there's been lots of changes to staffing to better situate the property for community events. There's been a hire for events coordinator that is sort of exciting, to try to work together with people. On another note, I have been reinstated as a golf professional, so there will be junior golf events for the community. We're also holding some free ladies clinics coming up, and junior clinics in the month of May, and probably going to have to add more clinics, which is good. So the golf course is definitely being utilized. Early tourism numbers are looking positive for overnight stays on the campground. We have a high demand for seasonals, so unfortunately there's a lot of people that want in that we just can't accommodate yet. So yeah, it's just an overall positive situation. We have confirmed Island Hot Tubs to do the work on the small pool, so it will be operational, which is good to see because it's been down for a number of years. We are working on some other projects at the pool area that I will hopefully be able to update to you guys next month. I've gotten quotes for Panett Park on some work to the bathroom. I'm still waiting for the estimates to come in. I've had some great discussions with Bog and also meeting with McPhail's on Thursday to hopefully look into some potential plans for the golf course, woodlands, and some stuff possibly at Panett. So that's sort of a brief synopsis for you guys of what's going on. If you have any questions, fire away.
How many people does it take to run the operation down here?
There's roughly 20.
About 20
staff,
employees
yeah.
here that
Yeah,
run it.
yeah.
And so, what's kind of your vision for the future? Like, is there any development ideas that are been bandied about by the board or by yourselves as trying to expand the operations down there and where it would be going? Is there any kind of a vision established for that yet?
Well, my vision that's been discussed with the board is, I think the motto over the next 3 to 5 years is to get good at what we got. I think that potentially that's what will establish the BCDC as to be on solid footing. I'm not going to look into the past, but I think that we need to get back on that solid ground before we can potentially look into further plans.
I've got some questions about the pools.
Yep.
The usage has been down the last couple of years, and I think it's directly related to the heating systems of the pools.
Yep. Yeah.
So is there anything in, any plans afoot to improve the water temperatures down there for the summer? Because I think it makes a big difference in the
Yeah,
usage.
we are looking to make a new area where the heat pumps are. A lot of the pool issues were, from what I can gather, more staffing issues, Jim, and just improper maintenance, unfortunately, to them. I hope to actually pick the brain of an old staff member that was there when I was there to come down and help train a few folks, but yeah. And I think as for usage, I have been talking to the, I think the Life Saving Society of PEI. They potentially want to work with us at the pools as well, so.
That would be nice, because my
Yeah.
kids did swimming lessons in the river, and it's cold.
Off of Panett Park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and lots of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
here
Bob?
you said you were open, I know you had a soft opening. Are you, when do you envision using the cars?
They're out.
Roads?
They're out.
Okay.
You're good to go, man.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Priorities.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, we did have a couple of soft openings for walkers that, you know, was positive, but golf carts are now on the course. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
Here, if you, I know Lynn and I spoke up for BCDC based on our knowledge last month.
Yep.
Could you just speak to where the finances are? Because I know there were a lot of questions and concerns around that,
Yeah.
just on your viability and where it stands with the new switchover. So if you
Right.
could just speak to
Sure.
that based on yourself.
Yeah, well, it is public knowledge, like I can share the financials with you guys as well, but there was debt that was taken on, unfortunately, over the last few years. I didn't come back until December, so the BCDC does have debt. There was a $100,000 loan taken out in the fall of 23 that has interest. We are potentially looking at trying to find ways to save on that interest through a potential refinance. The simulator room was another one that had unfortunately the units were leased, so we are tied into a lease there. So the Development Corporation does have debt, so when I say get good at what we got, there's reasons why we have to take that approach over the next 3 to 5 years to get back on solid footing. Yeah.
Well, I don't think persons need to be too concerned about a small amount of debt like that, because over the years, I was trying to figure out exactly what we've taken on. And I think that over the years that I was a board member there, I think we took on approximately $850,000 in debt between lease payments, money that we had to borrow from the bank and from the credit union, and also there was $490,000 to do the upgrade to the greens, and that was all paid off as of 2 years ago. I think it was
That would have been actually, I left there.
Before
I
that.
left there in September of 17, and it was paid off in 18. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So the core business is solid.
yeah,
It's just a matter of getting it back on the street
right.
again.
that's right. I can't do that overnight though.
No, so I wouldn't be too concerned about having a little bit of debt.
I just have one more question.
Yeah.
So, the meetings, are they public now? Like, can anyone attend, or is it just board members?
It is just board members,
Okay.
but we did create a Development Corporation Facebook page that I'm trying to funnel as much as possible to. And we do hope to have the minutes and stuff accessible here soon. Yeah, but anyone who ever wants to reach out to me anytime. Questions. If I'm not there, I can be found somewhere in the vicinity of the Belfast area.
A good chance to be done.
Yeah, there you go. Good. Yeah. Yeah.
Good work, Karen.
Thanks.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming out.
Yep.
Thanks for your
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else want to speak?
Sherry, did you want to say anything? We're on public presentations.
Unless you want to make the announcement.
Actually, you can do it now if you like, but I've got it on the agenda for later, where we're going to announce that BOG your board has agreed to be our sublease for our new office starting in June. So we look forward to a nice collaboration.
Good job.
Is there anything else you want to add?
Not safe.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
We do have one more public presentation, but they're just running a little bit late. So Kent McDonald, the Liberal candidate for the Cardigan riding, is going to come tonight to speak on behalf of the letter that we mailed out to all the federal candidates. He's hoping to be here around 7:30 is what I'm told right now.
Josh, got anything you want to say?
No, thank you.
Okay, adoption of the March 19th, 2025 council meeting minutes attached and previously distributed. All changes have been incorporated. May I have a mover and a seconder to approve the minutes of March the 19th, 2025 meeting? Moved by Lynn. Seconder, anybody? Billy? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Motion carried. CAO report, Mr. Bob Brooks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We are right on track, right on budget after a full 12 months of our fiscal year. You will see that we're $31,000 ahead of the game, and that was predicted because the government of PEI assessment dollars came in at $2,818 a month more than what they told us our assessment dollars would be. So very pleased to announce that we're $31,000 more at the end of the fiscal year. However, I'm working right now on all of the year-end documents, and the plan is, as per Councillor Charlie's suggestion, could we get the financial statement sooner? And the answer is yes. They're going to go to the auditors in May, and so we should be able to see it at council sometime in June.
Awesome.
So yes, other than the usual auditor adjustments that happened, then I expect that we're right on track, and we will see good results going into the next fiscal year. Oh, well, speaking of that, well, that actually leads into the next item, the number 10.
Can I just ask a question before you
Oh,
go
yeah,
on?
okay, sure.
That 31,000 that we're in green again, is that including money we're taking out of our, for the?
Yes, we
stuff?
actually
Okay.
accounted for it during our budget session.
Yeah,
So in the budget that we had done, it was known that we would be getting these extra dollars. So, but on that budget, as you know, we were going to be looking for any overages that came through community grants and or through the accessible deck. We were asked to look for some additional monies. The next item, number 10, talks about the new municipal funding agreement for VI municipalities, which, as you know, we were talking about, and you yourself were letting us know about the possibility of that. A few weeks ago, we actually got the exact number, which was going to be $15,000 in funding for the next 2 years, each year for the next 2 years. And while they are looking at the Municipal Government Act review, they will then have that conversation again as to what that number should be after they've completed their review. But for the next 2 years, we're getting $15,000 more per year than we had before. And in this case, because it came after the budget, we didn't know about it, so that $15,000 went toward what was going to come out of the reserve. In addition to that, one of the question marks was the sublease. If we didn't get a sublease, that was going to have to come out of the reserves. But thanks to BOG, we do have a sublease now. So they said they're going to pay us tons and tons of money.
Yeah, can we get double the rent?
No, so that money won't have to come out of reserves either. So, but on that, we have some plans to discuss with other funders, and what should be what helps us along in that quest is the fact that we're looking for a fully accessible deck. And so there's programs out there that speak to accessibility, and so we're hoping to tap into that. And actually, Ashley and I are going to be looking into that almost straight away. There's already been some calls in. We're just waiting for their season to start.
I know we have a process in place for community grants, but if we see that we're running a very large surplus, is there a way that we can either increase or allocate some money towards new community initiatives that we find that come up?
Yes, if council, for example, let's say we found some more money for the deck, and say in 2 or 3 or 4 months, council says, let's do another call for, let's say we had, I don't know, $20,000 that we wanted to give away. You could do another call for community grants. municipalities through the MGA only have two ways to give away money. And that is through the gas tax program, which, by the way, that call is going to be going out to the public probably in about a month. I've already had discussions with Infrastructure Secretariat, and we actually closed the two outstanding projects that we had. So yeah, we should be able to do an announcement in the next few weeks about call for proposals for that. So that's one area where we can give away money. And the other one is through the Community Grants Program, and it's not limited to once per year. It's usually done once per year because we give it all away. However, if we find that we have some more money that you want to do, then you can ask for another call. But I would suggest waiting for a few months just to solidify our findings.
This question on this 15,000, is that from the government?
Government of PEI.
Yeah, but is that for the Federation got the,
So that was negotiations that the Federation has been ongoing for, my God, at least 4 years now.
you got a little increase last year?
Yeah.
2% or something.
Yeah, which I think was already built in. This was like their big overhaul. What we asked for is confidential, but I will just say we asked for a lot more. But we
This is
got,
part of that.
but this is part of that. So we got what we got. It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
FPIM will be continuing to ask for more. And I expect once they do the revision of the MGA, there'll probably be some more chatter around all of that. But yeah, this is the negotiations from all of that. And also, just to go off that, municipalities that have official plans got quite a boost from it. Towns and cities got quite a boost. Like a lot of those places, they have to pay for their own policing
Yes.
and things like that. So they got quite a boost in that to make up for the inflation. So yeah, the 15,000, that was just for like rural and small municipalities, which, you know, was great. But yeah, overall, like there was quite a large package that the province did give to us.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Any other questions on number 10? I'll get back to you, Bert.
Okay.
I see that we have,
Yeah, Mr. McDonald is here. Do we want to
go back to item number,
open?
Do we have time for number 11?
Yeah, it's perfect timing for number 11.
Hi, guys. Hi, welcome.
we're moving back to public presentations. If you would like to make your public presentation, I believe we had one.
Should we, can I just make a suggestion that we discuss the lobbying that we've done, like if we discuss number 11,
Number
just
11
because it
makes
kind of fits in
sense.
perfect, to describe at least to our viewers and the
agree.
people that are here what we have been doing, and then we can have kind of come up and speak
It just
to
gives it some
a
context.
reaction to that, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
All right.
my turn?
Yes.
Okay, sustainable two-ferry service and lobby to all federal parties. Admin Ashley Fester.
Okay, so in March of 2025, a Canadian federal election was called. Just prior to that call, Premier Rob Lance announced his support for lowering or eliminating Confederation bridge tolls and Wood Island ferry fees. A concern was raised that one federal party might be in favor of canceling the Wood Island ferry service altogether. Consequently, RMB sent a letter, which all of you have a copy of, to all federal parties. It's also available on our website, to secure a written or verbal commitment for a sustainable two-ferry service at Wood Islands. And we have a guest speaker here tonight to speak to that. Would you like to?
Did any council members have anything to add before we go to the guest?
Well, I'd like to know where that concern came from about one of the federal parties might be in favor of canceling Wood Island's ferry service altogether. Because if I understand it correctly, because Premier King happened to mention it, was that as part of the contingency plan for the Confederation Bridge, that there was a commitment, to a constitutional commitment to maintaining that ferry service. So as far as any indication or any concern about anybody having it canceled, I don't think you're able to cancel it, whether you wanted to or not, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, we can't give you the exact auditor or.
No, but I'm just gonna point that out, because if that's correct, that constitutional agreement is still in place, you can't cancel it, no matter who's in power.
As it was explained to me last year, I don't remember who it was, that yes, it's a part of the contingency plan. And that contingency plan means that once the bridge is down for more than 24 hours, they have to provide a ferry service. It doesn't mean that the ferry service needs to be running as it is now. And that was the difference that I was explaining last year. That yes, there has to be a ferry, but it doesn't have to be what we have now. And it doesn't have to be in Wood Islands now. It could be back by the bridge. So there is no guarantee, unfortunately, which was disappointing, so.
So are you saying that Premier King was incorrect when he said that constitutional guarantee was still there?
The guarantee was still there, that they have to provide a way to get off the island by a ferry service, but it doesn't outline that they have to provide a vessel to and from, but it doesn't mean that they have to maintain a ferry service on a day-to-day. They could have the boat sitting there tied up, ready to go should something happen, but they don't have to provide it, and it's not guaranteed that it would be at Wood Islands. It could be over by the bridge, and it could be a smaller, like a tugboat type size vehicle. There's nothing, as long as they're able to get some sort of ferry mechanism to get people on and off the island, that would make it acceptable. And I was extremely disappointed and frustrated to hear that, so.
Actually, when Tricia told us that last year, that was one of the reasons for the position that we came up with. First of all, by joining the Eastern PEI Chamber of Commerce, because they had a lobby for a sustainable two-ferry system, and we wanted to be part of that lobby, and it was a sustainable two-ferry system at Wood Islands, nowhere else. So we joined the chamber for that reason and have been working with them. We did send the chamber a copy of that letter, because they are going to be holding a candidates forum on Wednesday, which some of us are attending, where our hope is that they'll be bringing up the letter itself. In addition to that, we sent the letter to all the parties, so they knew RMB's position on this, and that's what we were hoping to get a firm commitment on, both verbal from the candidate as well as verbal from the federal parties themselves, because as you know, could be any party could be elected, but that's where we're at now.
Okay, you realize that the original constitutional guarantee of the steam service between Cape Tormentine and Borden, that was a second constitutional guarantee that was given between Wood Islands and Caribou. And I understood that that is still in place.
If you can find that, that would be awesome to have in writing, but I was unable to find that.
It's available through what do you call it? Freedom of Information Act. Because if that is still in place, it definitely says Wood Islands and Caribou, because I've seen it. I don't have a copy of it anymore, but I did have it at one time.
That makes sense what you're saying though. That's an empty void of an answer. So A, the ships we do have are not winterized in terms of icebreakers.
Yeah.
So if something happened to the bridge during the winter months, they're no good to us. And that's a whole other issue. If they're gonna provide a boat back up in Borden, they're gonna have to deal with that as well.
What they're going to do during the winter is they're going to bring the Maggie ferry down, because right now in the wintertime it runs 3 days a week, and they're going to bring it down here.
Yeah.
But that also fails to address that it won't fit here.
Yeah.
So that was a problem. And the other thing too is that like, there was a few other things that, there's something else that was in there. But yeah, like it didn't really fully address it. And the other thing, the other thing was that it said that there'd be the 2 current ferries, but then they'd be bringing in 2 additional ferries. So this is all supposed to happen in basically a 24-hour period, when the bridge is shut down for 24
But
hours,
that's-
and we're supposed to be able to
yeah,
magically
Still
go.
not a plan,
right?
that's
It's
just
not.
thoughts going through
It's
their
not
head.
feasible.
Can't just pull a ferry from
No.
here, here, and here.
It is absolutely not
That's not a commitment,
doable.
that's not a plan.
It looks great on paper.
They're ideas.
And it's, I think, when the paper was written, nobody had any idea that anything potentially could ever happen. And I circle back to the bridge in the States,
Yeah.
right?
That happened at the same
That
time.
happened,
Yeah.
and nobody saw it coming. Well, that can happen to our bridge. So we need to be organized and we need to be prepared. It can't be just, lip service on paper.
I think we need to see a copy of that contingency agreement to see just exactly what it does say, because to have any kind of an effective service, there's a lot of trucks that go back and forth supplying the island over top of that bridge, and it's not gonna take one boat to replace that.
And unfortunately, as Josh found last year, Freedom of Information Act, it took up to a year to get the document last year. Like,
Yeah.
so it's not a quick and easy, and then half the document is usually redacted.
We've seen the Constitution from, 18, whatever, but whether it's still in play since the bridge opened.
There's still a lot of questions.
Yeah. So,
Ashley, this is a question for you. So just reminding everyone that, we did reach out to all the federal candidates, Rob Lance, a number of ministers. Can you just update everyone on the responses, if any we received?
I did not get any direct responses other than a few automated emails back, that they've received my email or so-and-so's out of the office. So what I did was I emailed the Eastern Chamber of Commerce, and I said, this is our letter. Please make sure all the candidates have it in advance so they can prepare for the debate if it comes up. And I said that council will be there to represent us, and we hope to hear from them as to what their stance is. So.
Okay, so I just wanted to clarify that. So to date, we've only received
Yeah,
Ken McDonald. Okay.
that's correct.
Did we prepare any statements that we sent to the moderator of that debate?
Yeah, I did.
That is,
I
so
sent-
it's to make sure that our questions are going to be fully answered.
I sent it to the admin person at the Eastern Chamber of Commerce to pass along to the moderator for that event.
Okay.
No, it's not a list of questions, it's just our letter.
That's correct, and the fact that we would like them to speak to that
Mhm,
specific. The deadline came and went. I did not receive any other additional questions from council to forward along, so I didn't propose anything else.
Well, that's good, we're taking it personally because this is our municipality that the ferry
Yeah.
service is in.
That's right.
So it's kind of at the top of our list.
It is.
Okay, thank you. We have with us our Canadian federal candidate, Mr. McDonald. You would like to say a few words on behalf?
Where would you like me to be? To stand up here? or-
front and center.
Right front and center.
Oh, it's like a,
You're in the hot seat.
first like to say hello and thank you for the invitation to this meeting. It's nice to see municipal politics in action, and I commend you all for your role here. So on the ferry service, I did receive the letter that you had sent out. The Liberal Party and Kent McDonald fully support the 2 ferry service at Wood Islands. And I have been pushing for a more permanent commitment from our campaign nationally. There's been rumors going around that there'll be a reduction in tolls. So I've been pushing for an equitable treatment of the ferry service with the tolls at Confederation Bridge. If I'm elected, I will continue to push very hard for the 2 ferry service because of the reasons that as I travel around the district campaigning, it's vital. Everybody talks about the ferry service, whether it's the truck drivers, the farmers, the fishers, the tourism operators. Whether I knew the total importance of it before I became a candidate or not, I don't know. But I know now, after campaigning for 3 weeks, I know how vital it is to Eastern PEI. So again, that's all I can give you is my firm commitment that I support the 2 ferry service here. I'm kind of excited to see the new ferry come over here and sail in and sail back out. Yeah. So I do look forward to the season starting and the trucks starting to roll back and forth. I know last fall the gravel was in short supply in Eastern PEI. I run a dairy farm and we couldn't get gravel quite when we wanted to because of the service wasn't quite what it had to be last year. And so a lot of the backhauls that normal truck drivers would haul back from Halifax when they're hauling grain, soybeans or potatoes or whatever, weren't happening. So I could answer any questions you might have, but that's my commitment to the ferry service. Yeah, please.
So when you're talking about the decrease and the quality, the equity of having them even, I can speak, so I have a business just like 5 minutes down the road, and I do get a lot of tourists in the summer, and one of the things that just boggles my mind is that, you know, the ferry's right here, and so you make small talk, and like, so you're hopping on the ferry, oh no, it's cheaper to take the bridge. I'm like, where are you going? Halifax. I'm like, do you realize that you're going to spend more time, more gas, more wear and tear than the little bit extra for the ferry? And it's really interesting how much they see cheaper, they just don't really lay it out. And, you know, I think having, you know, yes, we love free, yes, we love cheaper, but you know what? I'm just pushing to have it equal, because then we're able to compare apples to apples.
And I agree with that. That's what I'm advocating for. And the thing that you see is, of course, I'm referring to the Liberal platform, but Mark Kearney's suggesting taking down internal trade barriers between provinces. And if we're going to do that, then the highway structure has got to be part of that conversation. And if we're going to do that, then we have to look at transportation of goods being equal and fair to wherever you live in this country, if you're going to trade interprovincially.
And interestingly enough, with the Trans-Canada Highway, you actually can't stop traffic or block it. Like with the fire department, if we have an accident, we've got to clear it. We've got to have it open. You cannot close it down. You can't have a parade on it. You can't do anything on it. Trans-Canada Highway goes right through the ferry on into Nova Scotia. So we need to actually have that actually open and running.
And yeah, I guess just to reiterate what Trish said, I mean, that was our biggest concern, you know, when federal parties started coming out, that it's just the equality of it. We, as a council, I think I can speak on behalf of all of us, that we see if we can foresee that if bridge fees are dropped completely and nothing's done to the ferry, that it would be a death sentence for us. And I mean, you're campaigning, going door to door, you see how absolutely crucial the service is. And I think with the disruptions the past number of years, unfortunately, those cracks have really shown through. So,
Well, I think, and I've commented publicly on CBC radio, and can't remember if I commented to Josh Lewis behind me here with the same comment I might have, that, you know, whatever the announcement is, it has to be equal treatment to both. And a removal of the tolls at the bridge and a review of the ferry service is not going to be equal treatment to both. So that's what one of the other parties has stated. So.
well, I'm glad to hear you're aligned with our interests, because that's exactly what we want. So.
Okay, thank you, Mr. McDonald.
I'm off the hook. Some of you I'll see Wednesday night. Thanks for inviting me.
Thanks for coming, everyone.
Okay, did we do 12?
No.
No.
We did 12.
I
Okay,
did not.
Cardigan Federal Candidates Debate in Montague, Ashley Fester.
All right, the Eastern PEI Chamber of Commerce recently announced that they will be hosting an all candidates debate for Cardigan on April 16th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at King's Playhouse in Georgetown Dedication Hall. Members of council and administration have expressed an interest to attend, specifically to push for a commitment from all federal candidates for a sustainable two-ferry service at Wood Islands. Our regularly scheduled council meeting was moved up to today to allow RMB to be part of this very important lobby.
Do we have a sense of how many people are going?
I'll be
Yeah,
there.
and I'll be there.
Bob will be there.
I'm expecting to be there.
I am unfortunately working now.
Do we know if it'll be live
I
streamed?
was just gonna ask that. Oh, okay, great.
Awesome.
Super.
Okay, thank you, Ashley.
I'm not next to.
Okay, don't go far.
I won't.
Facebook update.
This
Alright.
is really impressive.
Yes. So our live streams for our council meetings are no longer going to be archived. Facebook only keeps live stream data for approximately 30 days. So we cannot use Facebook as an archival tool for, to look back at old meetings, just so everyone's aware of that going forward. I pulled our Facebook stats and did a review. So over the last 28 days, views to our page, 30,715.
That's insane.
You're so popular.
Okay.
Wow.
Our content interaction this is just 28 days. Content interaction is 1,081. That's like likes, dislikes.
Shares,
We don't really get dislikes, mostly likes, comments, things like that. New followers, 58. Our total number of followers is 837. Link clicks, so if I post something that's linked to our Facebook page, that's happened 53 times. Our audience is predominantly women, at around 70%, men 29%. The average age of people following or engaging with our Facebook page is 44 to 65. The viewership in top 5 areas: Vernon Bridge, Charlottetown, Stratford, Montague, and Murray Harbour. And our top posts for April, the April 10th video that I took of the ferry, we got 14,000 views on that.
Nice.
Yeah, with 48 interactions, and that was just 12 hours afterwards. I haven't checked since, so it could be more than that. The pictures of the ferry the fitting for the ferry, we got around 4,000 views with 46 interactions. Council meeting date change, we got 659 views. And the statement regarding our discontinuation of the annexation process, our discontinuation,
Stress that one more time.
to just so everyone knows, that's it. We got 3,489 views with 38 interactions. So I find these stats really interesting and very helpful, and also encouraging to know that the community is, watching and that they want to engage and be a part of the process. So.
And I would like to actually acknowledge your hard work, because you took this project on and got Facebook up and going, and
Thank
you are constantly posting content, you're constantly posting updates for our community, and the RMB website, Facebook page has become a source of knowledge, and that couldn't have happened without you doing it, so thank you.
It's not.
Thanks, guys.
So I have a question, for the videos,
Mhm.
have we lost any of the old videos yet?
Yes, so some have been lost.
Okay.
I'm not sure how many. I have to go back and check. Going forward, I should know what you guys would like to do. Like, do you want me to look into another way to do this, perhaps on YouTube where it stays forever? This is something we need to discuss if we want to archive our meetings or not.
Well, you can live stream from YouTube.
That's
So
right.
then the link could then just be put up on Facebook. Maybe that would be substantial. It just
Yeah.
means that people that are used to just clicking on Facebook, they just have to be reprogrammed to switch over to YouTube.
Then I would have to set up an RMB YouTube channel,
Yeah.
which wouldn't be an issue, but then it would just be specifically for our content and another avenue of,
More work.
yeah, but that's okay.
Is it
That's all right.
essential to have archived?
For me personally, it helps if I need to go back and
I
like,
too.
for example, like if Charlie has a question and she, you know, it's happened before where she's asked me something and I have to go back and look at, let's say, like footage from June. I can't remember all of everything off the top of my head, so it helps me that way.
I've gone back and
Things-
reviewed
things
stuff.
happen.
Yeah, I have the same.
That only happens with Charlie questions though.
It's mostly Charlie.
Things that are not in the minutes that,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do they have any way to
Yeah.
download what's currently still there?
No, I mean,
We can, there's like screen grabs that you can do where we can just have it stream again
Yeah.
before it's lost, and then the like laptop can capture it, so we can look into that.
okay.
I can,
alright.
I could send you some
Yeah,
stuff.
if you could, that'd be great.
I'm not familiar with the YouTube channels at all. Are you person restricted to either length of a specific
No.
or,
No, they can
Total.
run for hours.
yeah?
Yeah,
People can sit there and watch our
yeah.
meetings for hours on it. They won't.
There's videos on there, there's 365-day loops of the single song. They'll let you pretty much do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's something council wants me to do, I can set up a YouTube
Do
channel.
we need a motion?
I don't know, Bob, do we need a motion?
Well, we just need concurrence from council that they would like actually to look into a YouTube. Rather than a commitment that we will, let's find out how we do it first and then we can report back.
It's fairly strict.
I know how to do it.
It's
Okay.
pretty, yeah.
So if council wants Ashley to look into that,
Yeah, I guess the question is, I don't think that there's a cost for the YouTube
No.
channel,
No.
so.
No.
And if we're gonna get 30,000 hits, we might just monetize them.
oh, sell ads.
YouTubers.
Yeah, sell ads, yeah.
The Belfast YouTubers.
But if it only keeps it for 30 days, then our meeting tonight, if we don't, potentially look at doing the YouTube for next month, like, the sooner we do this, the sooner we're not gonna be losing content, so.
Yeah, we can look into it right away if council's okay with that.
And we won't have to lose any more.
Yeah.
Is there advertising that goes along with that that's selected by someone else?
You can choose to monetize or not monetize. So either they'll
Yeah.
put them in or you don't put them in. It depends on what you choose.
Yeah, Galen decides what you might want to advertise on that.
DC,
Yeah, all sorts.
Oh, yeah, okay.
DC, looking for some advertising?
Okay. Yep,
Okay.
yep.
All right, so we don't need a motion.
No.
All right.
Do
Okay,
it.
I'll do it.
Get her done.
Thank you. That's all for me tonight.
All right, thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
Okay, new business for the agenda, as discussed in item 3.
First one we had on the list was doors open down east.
Okay, so we're basically 2 weeks out from the event. Everything is ramping up really, really well. Very, very excited. Kira, I'm sorry if I put you on the spot here. Can you hold up your sign? So the roadside signs are just getting done and starting to get picked up. And this is what they're going to be marking. The map will be released shortly, and thanks to the Eastern and Western Graphic, they will be doing an article this week. Thank you, Josh. And it will be in the map, and more information will be posted next week, as well as a map on the Facebook page. Points East, and Tourism PI. So there's going to be some more information coming in the next few days leading right up to the event. But it's very exciting. A lot of businesses are really jumping up to offering promotions, giveaway baskets, samples, draws. So it's and the weather, 14 days out. I know it's really ahead, but it's looking beautiful. So yeah, that's it. So.
Okay, and we have,
Next we had the building permit.
oh yes, Jim's question.
Yeah, I happened to be in Montague today renewing a license plates on the car. And I happened to notice there was someone in the building inspection department division there, so I went in and asked them if there was any activity in the municipality of Belfast. And they had a little meeting in the back and came back and said they'd never heard anything about it, which kind of surprised me a little bit. I didn't realize that permits weren't issued directly from Montague. They then told me they didn't know that they come from Charlottetown. Things are, so I just kind of wondered how, how serious that they took it. And also that the letter that I wrote had two things in it that I noticed were kind of not emphasized so much in the letter that was revised a little bit. And one was that we're looking for the date that applications for building development and for permit applications are approved, those two dates, when the application process started, when it's actually approved. Because I have heard from some of the contractors that it seems to take an unduly length of time to have a permit applied, or have a permit actually approved. So I just wonder if we need to make a little bit of a follow-up to whoever the director is there to make sure that they're paying attention to us. Because I understand now there's been no permit applications from January, February, or March, which I would assume there would have been at least one.
I can speak to that. So Joshua Collins, he was a manager of inspection services with the Department of Housing, Land and Communities. He was our contact person, and he says if there was no activity, then they were not going to communicate with us. So I'm happy to follow up and just revisit that conversation with him and make double back and make sure that we didn't miss anything. If you'd like me to do that, I can do that.
And maybe there's a clarification needed, because maybe the province thinks that what they're doing is providing us the approved applications.
I see.
Whereas maybe what we're hoping to receive is actually
It's both.
I
the
see.
applications.
Application date and date of approval.
Okay.
And maybe there's a kind of a gap there.
Okay.
But also keep in mind, building permits, we're just approaching building season, construction season. And a lot of people aren't really doing them ahead of schedule. They're, sometimes it's last minute until things are figured out with construction. So a lot of these permits aren't even initiated until last minute. So we're not even in construction season yet.
We can follow up.
Yeah, there is a way to check online. I can only find the one where you're searching by the PID number, but there is a way just to scan by community as well. I just can't find it right this second.
Yeah,
but
it's
we
close by.
can have a look at that too and see what's going on there.
I think I sent that link out with the information a
Yeah,
long time ago, but
I feel like I had problems accessing it from my phone.
Okay.
Like previously, like when we had a permit out. So it's obviously not been updated, but I can try to look into that as well.
thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ashley. And we have one more.
Yeah, the next one was
Sherry
the,
Pelkey from Bog has an announcement to make.
Well, we already did that.
Oh, why don't you do it again?
Then the last one was the communications policy from Catherine.
Catherine. Okay, Catherine.
That was just a follow-up. I think I had brought it up, kind of following the whole
Annexation.
annexation debacle. just for my own knowledge, do we have a communications policy or like kind of a hierarchy of, you know, say when Josh calls us, like who gets called for interviews or whatnot?
So, what we have is a practice, not a policy.
Okay.
The practice is that the mayor is the spokesperson for the municipality, and if the mayor is not available, he will often suggest, well, first of all, say if he is available. If he's not available, then we will look for someone else, and normally, depending on the subject, we'll look for somebody else who's been dealing with that subject. So that's the way it goes now. Even though BCDC doesn't have their board members in public now, Garth was the representative that would attend those meetings if they were open to the public. However, once BCDC does that again, then we're available to be there. That's basically the practice. The mayor may also agree that somebody from administration will speak to the issue, depending on it. If it's an administrative question, it'll often just be asked or answered by an administrative person. But if it's any kind of political question, we'll ask the mayor first, and then the mayor will let us know if he's available or not, and then it'll go from there.
Okay, and how is that working? Are we having access, like
Yep.
representatives come forward, or?
Yeah,
like,
actually,
how
it's-
effective is it?
It's working well. The only time it didn't work well was with the annexation. I know that's a bad word. That was the only time it didn't really work, mostly because it blew up to be a much bigger problem. And I don't know that having any other practice in place or policy in place would have changed that dynamic. So what I've described to you is typically the way all municipalities, unless they're a very large municipality, if it's a very large municipality, they may actually have a communications person director that basically handles that. But even in those communities, and I'll use my Yellowknife example, the mayor was still the first go-to person, and oftentimes the mayor would then say, no, give it to the communications. So that's how they would do it that way. But in most municipalities, especially medium to small, it's as I described it. That's it for
Okay, our next meeting, a regular council meeting, is Wednesday, May 21st, 2025 at 7 p.m. here upstairs meeting hall at the Wood Islands Market. And if there is no further business, I move the meeting to Trish.
Adjourned.